Hey guys, the boy Anthony, and I'm here to show you guys how to make a balcony, or say a fire escape balcony in Blender 4.2. Moving on. First thing first, we are in Blender, and as you can see, we have this little, you know, this thing here to show you guys the keys that I'll be pressing on the keyboard. Whenever your keyboard is made, you could be able to follow along, even if you don't speak English. Okay? So first thing first, you wanna start off via in object mode. So you wanna create the object by pressing Shift A, which will bring up this little thing here. We're gonna go to Mesh. We're gonna create a cube, and once we're in cube here, we wanna press S, and we're gonna scale that cube up by let's say about this. Let me scale it up some more. Wherever you wanna put it, how big you wanna put it, right? And now you press S again, and you press Y, which will go to this green line here. Then you're gonna press 2 instead of trying to scale it and get a an average size. You just press 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever how big you want it to get, right? And then click. You left click and click off it. Alright, so making sure we click this now. I'm gonna hit the tab button and we're gonna go into edit mode. So we're in edit mode now, right? By holding Alt and Shift, right? If you have the 3 button settings on, if you don't know what that is as a beginner, then go into preference, right? So you're gonna go in, I think it's input, interface, it's one of these things here, right? So it's one of higher settings in a certain way. It's one of these things here. Right, editing, animation, right, location thing, yada yada. No, not you. It's one of these things. Right, there it is, inputs. Right, so you wanna go into emulate numpad, emulate 3 button mouse. Like if you have a Cintiq or something like that, you wanna have this on. Right, as the settings is right here, you wanna have your settings something similar to this, right? To follow one up, right? I'm just showing you my settings. This is how I set up my Blender, right? So I set up my Blender, right? This here is crucial if you want the space bar to be a play or your tools or your search. This will change up the whole dynamics of your shortcuts and thing. This will determine how you'll be able to follow along in this video, right? And I don't really see much 3D artists or 3D people who using Blender actually show this before they even start their tutorials, but I'm showing it just in case. Alright, so moving on now. After you're done doing all of this thing, make sure this is CUDA and it's to your, this is the graphics card I have in my laptop. Right, so after you're done saving up all these things here, right, so you want to come down here and save the preference, right? Make sure you save preference. Or you can do too, after you're done setting up all that, you can come here and you can go into default and save startup file as, or after you done do all them settings and things, it will be blank. Inside of here will be blank. The keys will be, everything will be in order. And you will see that will be a default. So every time you open up Blender, you come into these kind of settings into your Blender. Right? So you don't have to be scratching your head and having to go back into it and stuff. Because not all the time that preferences work now. So I know all the time this will, although it's there, you see even the preference of the thing, but you still have to make the startup file as the default, right? So after you're done doing all that, we're moving on now. We don't waste no more time now by trying to show you guys how to, make everything work for your comfort. Right? Work in your own comfort. Right? So after you done make this here and stuff, right? Alt and shift. Right? You wanna select the top here, we wanna select the bottom here. We wanna hold shift and D, that is to duplicate. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to click outside. Right, we already duplicated that already. Right, and now we want to press P on your keyboard. You want to click P. Now you want to parent it. Right, so you select on your first one. Right, so once you see these red with these orange lines here, you don't already parent the duplicate. This will be this here. Right, this here is your duplicates. This one on top here is the two duplicates from the top and the bottom. That's the duplicates here. Right, so that is that parent another layer. Right, you can do this like if you want to cut up a character or something like that in Blender. Alright, moving forward. Next step now, what you want to do is to come here and see, close up. Let's close up that. As you can see, which one is which? The two faces, that. Right. So we want to get rid of the back part here. When we do that, we press X on the keyboard. This here will pop up, and you want to select faces or only faces, and that will take away the face in the back there. If you go around in the back, you can see it how it follows. Right. We'll come back in front here. You hold Alt will give you this to, hold Alt on your right mouse button, your left mouse button, and it will pan around. Alt and Shift will make you, do all that. And to zoom in and zoom out, Control Alt, in out. So with these shortcuts on them, it'll be very easy to navigate through Blender if you go and do 3D. Alright. You let me know in the comments if I'm doing a good job or not in telling you guys this and showing you guys this. Okay. So the next thing you want to do now is select the bottom part. Alright, so for down here, you want to select down here, you want to hit Y, and then you want to hit H on the keyboard next to your G, to hide it, right? Now, I know some of you guys might be like, well, mine's not like this, and I can't just select any faces I want to select within it. That's because if your settings up here are not like mine's, this here is something called the X-ray mode. If this is off, you're gonna see it like that. But if it's on, you're gonna see through it, and you'll be able to select any faces you wanna select within Blender. Alright? Something the others on them ain't go showing up, because when they're teaching apparently there's somehow forget to show all that now. Right? So you're learning while you go along. I too, but it is what it is. Alright, so your settings are like this, just like mine's. You see my cursor, it's in all over the place like some of them. Right? Just want to make sure the X-ray, you toggle X-ray, you gotta make sure that is on. So you can see what you're doing and what you're selecting. Right, so you can see here, after you done press Y, underneath here, you don't select down here, you press Y, then you press H is to hide things. I'll show you in a bit how to unhide things. Alright, moving forward. Alright, so we in here now. So before we move on any further, you want to come up on top here. Right, this here is you select edge, and then it have the select the vertices, edge, and faces. These are very crucial to selecting certain points and lines and faces within your objects that you'll be modeling from in Blender, right? It's very simple. If you want to, you can actually right click onto it and add a shortcuts because they don't come with shortcuts. I think it's due to the settings and thing. Whichever part you put the space bars, it will give you that option, right? But if you only put the space bar as play, you will have to go in here, right click and assign certain things, certain shortcuts on your keyboard, right? So for me now, basically I will just put these as 1, 2, 3 as a quick thing. But I have to come up here and just do that. So just select this here, and we're gonna select the edges. And the edges we're gonna select is this down here, right? And we're gonna hit Control R in order to bring up these vertices here, right? And we're gonna select, we're gonna left click, right? We're gonna left click right here, and this will come up, and we are going to put in at least 10 of them, or 10 of them, about 10 of them, right? Moving forward, you want to select the side here, and you want to do the same thing, Control R, select it, select again, and on this side here, you want to hit 5, select right out here, right here, and it will make that. Now, what we're making here is railings, right? We're making the railings. See, there's not to confuse you guys. Then we move Alt and Shift. You know, we move it around here. So we're gonna click outside here. We wanna pull on the left click, the left button, and select all this on top here. Now, and we wanna go down below too. Now to make this much better, let me hit this here, this X here, right here. This is to go in front here, right? To make this much easier, select everything on top, and hold Shift, select everything underneath, right? Let's make sure everything's selected, right? Everything's selected. We're gonna come back here, right? I'm gonna press X, then hit faces, only faces. No, wrong. Not only faces. Let me get rid of them thing on top. So I'm gonna press X again, and we're gonna get rid of faces. All right. Now we left with this here. Good. Moving forward. So for this part here, you want to come right here. You want to click this in order to center it in the x-axis as we have it right now. And you want to select the top part. And you want to select the bottom part by holding Shift. Right? Those two parts selected. To make sure everything's selected, you just, hold on Shift and on Alt in order to move on your left mouse button. Hold on those three in order to move around. You're actually moving the mouse button with this. You know it is, right? So you're going back into that, and then we want to click X and delete edges. Right, by doing so, it will leave these lines here, and these here will be the bars to your balcony. We'll be getting to that just now. All right, get into that just now. Okay, moving forward. Next step. Now I told you guys that I will show you guys later down in the video how to unhide something, right? So in order to unhide something, You want to hit Alt and H. The thing that we hide earlier on by pressing Y and then H in order to hide it. We select it and then we press Y and H. It reappear now. Now, since it reappear, you want to go on and hit Control R. Right, go and hit Control R and select. Right, line out of some there. All right, so inside of here, you wanna add 12 to it, right? Then you're gonna press Control. Also, you're gonna press Control I, and everything here will select. You're inverting the selections. Now Control I is about, right? Invert. All right, so let's go back here to the front. We're gonna unselect all of these here by keeping this one here. So you wanna Control and you wanna the right mouse button. Well, not right, the left click, right left button. You just wanna select off all of these things in it. Now with the inverters now. So instead of selecting things, you're unselecting them. Right? So since this here is the only thing that's still remaining, you want to go into faces by pressing X and you wanna edges, right? And you get rid of the faces and the edges, right? So just like this here, right? Moving forward. If you have reached this far into the video, yeah, you're understanding how easy it is, leave a comment. So moving forward with this now, you wanna open this up here, this eye here. Just gonna bring it back up. Right. Right. Control Alt and Shift, right? And now we wanna make sure these two are selected. Show you on that. And we wanna go into Alt Q. Make sure them to select Alt Control